How many friends can you reach out to without hesitation right now? Looking through your contact list might make you realize that you don't feel like calling many of them. Loneliness is a common experience, and it tends to intensify with age. Over time, the people in our lives gradually fade away. In the past, you may have seen your friends daily, shared drinks, and had heartfelt conversations. Nowadays, the lack of close contacts can leave you feeling isolated. Even the friends you once imagined growing old with begin to drift away, and others move on with their own lives. Forming new friendships becomes increasingly difficult. However, it's completely normal for friendships to fade over time. Some people internalize this, leading to anxiety and lowered self-esteem. But it's important to remember that everyone faces this, so there's no reason to feel discouraged. Have you noticed your circle of friends shrinking as the years go by? Comment 1 if you've experienced friendships fading naturally. Comment 2 if you've managed to keep most of your close friends throughout life. Carl Jung regarded times of loneliness as significant stages in the journey toward individuation, the process of discovering one's true identity. While solitude might seem like a form of loss, it actually signals a psychological transition from relying on external approval to listening to one's internal voice. From this perspective, having fewer people around doesn't mean you are less valuable. Instead, it opens the door to a more genuine connection with yourself. Let's explore why friendships often fade as we age. The primary reason is changes in our environment. While each person's experience is unique, shifting surroundings play a major role. As children, we might have played games together in the same neighborhood, but as life progresses, our living situations and lifestyles shift dramatically. During the earlier years, many people share similar routines, working, raising children. But as we age, our lives diverge. Friends find themselves at different life stages, with evolving interests and paths that no longer align, leaving less common ground. Consequently, even the closest friendships can gradually dissolve. Additionally, work-based friendships often end after retirement since the shared purpose disappears, and personal interests may dwindle too. This makes meeting new people or maintaining old friendships more challenging. From a Jungian perspective, numerous friendships are built around the persona, the outward identity shaped by our professional roles and social expectations. When those roles shift, the persona evolves, and the ties rooted in that identity often weaken. This isn't a sign of failure, but rather an indication that function-based relationships are transitioning into those centered around deeper meaning. Some individuals struggle to accept the natural course of life and cling to friendships simply because of shared history. But this often results in emotional pain. Embracing reality and adapting to change is a wiser approach in later life. Losing a few friendships doesn't drastically alter your life. Carl Jung cautioned that holding on to what is fading leads to internal conflict. He referred to the psyche's opposing response as enantiodromia, when excessive force in one direction causes the opposite to emerge. Allowing relationships to naturally transform avoids this inner resistance and releases energy for personal development. Another realization is the finite nature of life. As people grow older, particularly beyond 50, they become less inclined to maintain relationships lacking genuine emotional depth. With a growing awareness of limited time, people start choosing their companions more carefully. This concept is explained by psychologists as the socio-emotional selectivity theory. Carl Jung described a midlife shift where the focus moves from outward expansion to inner exploration. He noted that in the latter half of life, the important question becomes not, "How many know me?" but "How deeply do I know myself?" This increased selectivity isn't social retreat. It's the psyche prioritizing depth over breadth. As we get older, our desire to socialize doesn't disappear, but our drive to engage in social activities declines. In youth, having many friends can be thrilling and enjoyable. But with age, it becomes clear that a larger social circle doesn't always lead to greater happiness. Additionally, Our energy levels drop, making daily socializing more exhausting. Sometimes, having many friends can feel overwhelming, and it's not just due to the earlier points. Aging naturally causes friendships to fade. You may have had a large circle before, but now it's harder to decide who to reach out to. Still, a smaller friend group doesn't have to mean loneliness, exclusion, or sadness. It's simply part of life. Accepting this helps reduce anxiety over losing connections. You'll begin to focus more inwardly and reflect more on yourself, which can be a positive shift. A German philosopher once noted that solitude is when people are most content. Real happiness stems from within, and relying on external sources for it is unnecessary. After turning 50, many people naturally spend more time alone, and often welcome it. This is entirely normal. The concept of individuation views solitude not as a problem to solve, but as an internal conversation with the self. When we nurture this inner connection, being social becomes a matter of choice, rather than a way to cope with anxiety. Interestingly, those comfortable with solitude often bring more authenticity to their relationships. Everyone needs solitude to develop and live authentically. True well-being and happiness require comfort with being alone. When you distance yourself from social noise and quietly examine your inner world, you gain balance and clarity, which leads to happiness. Solitude offers a space to engage with another part of yourself and understand your physical and mental state more deeply. We frequently experience loneliness or isolation when alone due to a fear of being separated from our social groups, family, friends, or communities. Our innate need for belonging is so strong that social rejection often feels worse than losing material possessions. However, when you overcome that dependence on constant belonging and embrace solitude, you free yourself from the pressures of social expectations and uncover a more vibrant, renewed sense of self. Later, life offers a valuable opportunity to focus on what truly matters and to process your inner thoughts. Carl Jung viewed solitude as a temenos, a sacred inner sanctuary, where the psyche can express itself without distraction. This space helps reduce the compulsive urge to fit in and diminishes the fear of being excluded. From this place of clarity, we connect with others out of choice rather than fear. Being alone doesn't necessarily mean you're lonely. When used wisely, alone time offers an opportunity to reevaluate your life and gain insight into your true self, something you may not have explored before. Do you find solitude refreshing, or does it make you feel uneasy? Comment 1 if spending time alone helps you recharge. Comment 2 if solitude tends to make you feel lonely or restless. Learning to enjoy your own company boosts both confidence and self-worth. Naturally, there will be moments of sadness due to the absence of close friends, but during those times, it helps to focus on what genuinely brings you joy. Reflect on your favorite hobbies, foods, and interests, and answer those questions honestly. Many middle-aged individuals who do this begin engaging in passions like studying new subjects, creating YouTube content, writing books, or even appearing on television. It's essential not to be overly concerned with others' opinions or to desire more than necessary. Taking this path helps you avoid regret and lingering dissatisfaction. So don't fear solitude. Embrace the happiness it can bring. People who thrive in solitude tend to have a deep understanding of themselves and maintain a calm, balanced outlook, which often makes them more thoughtful toward others. So, what allows them to feel so at ease and confident while being alone? To close, here are 4 characteristics that explain why certain individuals flourish on their own. The first trait is self-reliance. Individuals who manage well alone do not depend on others for emotional stability. Those who feel uneasy without companionship often form unconscious dependencies, which can lead to clinginess. They may tolerate mistreatment or compromise their values to preserve the relationship out of fear it might end. Over time, this fosters resentment and emotional pain. Conversely, Individuals who thrive alone are self-sufficient and content with themselves. They handle their emotions with maturity, maintain firm boundaries, and do not tolerate unnecessary intrusions. Since they are capable of solving problems independently, they never feel deprived. When they face difficulties and resolve them on their own, they often discover the issue was not as overwhelming as it first appeared. This is, in fact, an opportunity to uncover aspects of yourself you had not noticed before. Depending on others can feel like surrendering your freedom. You alone understand every experience, every emotion, and every part of who you are. Therefore, avoid doing it for external validation. Choose to be your own companion for your own well-being. The next step is to dedicate your time to activities that enrich your inner world. Rather than allowing solitude to pull you into loneliness or sorrow, fill it with reading, meditation, or enjoyable hobbies. By doing so, your time becomes both uplifting and productive. If solitude makes you feel lonely and leads you to conform to others' expectations that do not suit you, the result will eventually be pain. Emotions such as loneliness, insecurity, and low confidence are often shaped by external forces. Yet, when you are alone, you shield yourself from those damaging influences. Even when people live the same lifespan, the contrast between those who use their time wisely and those who simply drift becomes increasingly evident with age. One might imagine a friendless person as lonely and empty. But in truth, those who invest their time purposefully are often more vibrant and fulfilled. If there is something you have long wanted to pursue but delayed due to lack of time, begin it now. Cultivate your values and interests, and use your time in richer, more meaningful ways. Thirdly, it is important not to fear new challenges. Those who thrive without many friends often share a trait. They immerse themselves in hobbies, new pursuits, and the active pursuit of dreams or goals. When constantly surrounded by others, one may seek approval before trying something new. However, since those people likely have not attempted it themselves, their advice rarely proves useful when action is required. What is not made conscious appears in our lives as fate, observed Carl Jung. By taking new steps, we expose hidden patterns, our fears, adopted beliefs, and genuine desires. Acting from personal conviction, rather than seeking public approval, fosters a steady confidence that endures even when others oppose us. Often, other people provide little help. By contrast, those comfortable being alone pursue their desires during solitude, unconcerned with external judgment, and persistently work toward their goals. Over time, these experiences strengthen them internally and enhance self-confidence. Beginning something new always carries both excitement and fear, but those with inner resilience draw confidence from within, unaffected by outside opinions, and continue moving forward. The satisfaction of accomplishment is entirely theirs, along with the responsibility. Rather than questioning whether others truly care, learn to trust in your own genuine self-care. Fourth, they understand that universal approval is unnecessary. Those who live well independently do not overreact to others' judgments. When feedback is fair, they accept it with humility. But when it is groundless criticism, they simply dismiss it. People may dislike someone for no clear reason, just as they may like someone without real understanding. In the same way, others might dislike me without knowing me. They may also like me without truly grasping who I am. No one is flawless. Each person has both strengths and weaknesses. Those who are comfortable with solitude recognize their qualities and flaws more than anyone else. Because they truly know themselves, they are not swayed by others' opinions or compelled to change just to belong. They quickly end harmful connections and form natural bonds with people encountered through work or hobbies, maintaining balance between solitude and social life while remaining open to new relationships. Living without forcing yourself into friendships, instead cultivating ties naturally with those who share your interests, is a wise approach. free from obsession with companionship and fear of being alone. Those who cannot cope with solitude often become stressed while trying to fill the emptiness. In contrast, instead of fearing loneliness, people who embrace being alone dedicate their time to personal growth, creativity, and self-improvement. And you, by now, you probably realize that few people genuinely help in life. Many simply take advantage, use you, or harm you out of envy or malice. The only one who truly understands your heart without words, offers kindness without expectation, is yourself. Those who treat themselves as their best friend rarely feel the need for external friendships. Rather than exhausting yourself with unnecessary ties and sacrifices, devote time to yourself and gradually grow comfortable with solitude. As German theologian and philosopher Paul Tillich expressed, loneliness is the suffering of being alone, whereas solitude is the joy of being alone. This message is for you. I hope your time alone brings the sense of solitude rather than loneliness. While it is not necessary to handle everything in life alone, it is crucial to be comfortable with yourself. When you achieve ease in solitude, you will naturally connect with better companions. My hope is that this eases even a small part of your concerns about relationships. As we move into life's later stages, I sincerely wish for us to embrace solitude, focus inward, and live in ways that bring peace to both mind and body. Curiously, solitude becomes increasingly comfortable with time. At present, being alone does not feel unpleasant. Dining alone, traveling alone, and relaxing alone all evoke a blend of emotions. Occasionally, loneliness arises, yet it is not unbearable. With age, socializing with friends gradually loses its charm. Though I do not fully understand why, I have realized that in earlier years, when I spent time with friends, loyalty, friendship, and casual gatherings may have once played a major role in life. But now, far more significant things exist. My time belongs entirely to me, and no one can dictate how I spend it. Perhaps this is why solitude feels increasingly comfortable. It is essential for everyone to truly know themselves. While daily life naturally involves connecting with others, an excessive focus on such relationships can sever the connection with our own inner self. Many people fear solitude, yet it is actually invaluable for achieving inner peace. Being alone not only deepens reflections on life, but also inspires ideas that pave the way to success. This is why those who appreciate solitude often achieve more. Today, I want to highlight 10 advantages of solitude. The first is that it relieves anxiety. Solitude allows you to pause, breathe, and clear your mind. In doing so, we release the stressful thoughts and needless concerns we impose on ourselves. Time spent in solitude helps us identify which worries are baseless. The second benefit is that solitude often brings back positive memories. A Harvard study revealed that people are more likely to recall joyful moments when they are alone. Thus, solitude does not necessarily lead to sadness or loneliness. Rather, it evokes pleasant memories that uplift the spirit and sustain positive emotions. The third advantage is learning self-trust. Solitude fosters complete reliance on oneself. Free from external influence, you make choices grounded in your own reasoning and accept the consequences. This process cultivates introspection, sharpens the mind, and strengthens self-confidence. The fourth benefit is discovering your true self. We enter and leave the world alone. Loneliness compels us to confront truths we often ignore in the company of others. Yet, rather than plunging us into despair, these truths remind us of our individuality and free us from unnecessary comparisons. With this perspective, we learn to accept ourselves as we truly are. The fifth advantage is forming relationships that genuinely support us. Solitude enhances self-awareness and clarifies what we truly desire in life. Those who dedicate enough time to themselves can more readily identify supportive connections and have the strength to sever toxic or draining ones. As the saying goes, You only realize something's precious after it's gone. Often, what is most valuable lies right beside us, though we fail to notice it until later. We often overlook many things, and this applies to relationships with friends and partners as well. When you constantly share even minor feelings, you sometimes expect the other person to understand without explanation, which can lead to small conflicts or misunderstandings. However, if you step back and spend time with others, those tense emotions usually fade and seem trivial. That's when you begin learning how to manage loneliness. Everyone experiences it at some point. It isn't unusual, nor is it something you must immediately fix by reaching out to someone. Loneliness can even occur in the company of others or in crowded places. But once you learn to enjoy your own presence, solitude no longer feels isolating. By staying occupied during alone time, you can enrich your life. If you accept that solitude benefits you and have the courage to start something new, it can transform your outlook. Solitude allows you to view the world in a way you never have before. It brings freedom and relief, though moments of loneliness may still arise. This period serves as a chance to recharge your energy and restore productivity. Both body and mind require consistent breaks to stay refreshed. Time spent alone is ideal for quieting your thoughts and soothing your mind. If you constantly avoid solitude, burnout may creep up on you unexpectedly. Spending time alone also sharpens decision-making. It offers the mental space to reflect carefully on significant choices or opportunities. How do you handle important decisions in life? Comment 1 if you prefer to reflect alone before deciding. Comment 2 if you seek advice and input from friends or family first. In solitude, you can weigh pros and cons without interference and identify your true desires. These quiet moments are when you can genuinely question yourself and receive honest answers. When alone, your thoughts and emotions become clearer. Although your mind may drift at first, over time you gain control over your thinking. A few days of solitude help clear mental clutter, allowing you to notice hidden feelings and thoughts. You may uncover solutions to difficult problems, or, similar to meditation, explore your inner self and heal emotional wounds. This naturally brings calmness and peace. It becomes another opportunity for self-reflection and growth. Solitude is the most direct way to examine yourself and foster gratitude. It provides the space to view your life from a new angle, reflecting on past joys and hardships, and understanding how they strengthened you. This reflection nurtures both gratitude and resilience, empowering you to move forward. Here are some ways to maximize and truly enjoy your time alone. Start by going outdoors. Nature is known to enhance mental health, reduce stress, and sharpen concentration. Research indicates that solitude in natural settings intensifies these benefits. If you have ever hiked alone, you understand this effect. Outdoor activities provide the mental space to clear your thoughts and set goals. Even a terrace or garden can suffice. Make it a habit to spend time outside and stay active. Walk frequently, at any speed, while observing the beauty of nature, the flowing streams, drifting clouds, and towering trees. Studies also suggest that exposure to natural landscapes inspires awe and promotes a positive mindset. Another tip is to exercise without distractions. Research shows that physical activity releases hormones that lift your mood and ease feelings of sadness or loneliness. Exercising alone, according to Hilary Kodai, a mental performance consultant and board member of the Applied Sports Psychology Association, provides a unique chance to focus entirely on your physical, mental, and emotional state. She recommends training twice a week without headphones or a watch, while observing at least 5 details about your body and surroundings, such as your breathing, a squirrel on your path, or how your core feels during a plank. This practice increases your sense of achievement and helps you notice bodily signals you may normally overlook. Finally, pursue the activities you've always wanted to try. Cassio notes that we become more motivated when doing something we are passionate about, even in solitude. On days when you feel lonely or restless, pick up a paintbrush, begin writing, or revisit creative pursuits you've postponed. These activities deepen your self-connection and can later strengthen relationships with others. Dedicate at least 20 minutes several times a week to such efforts. Though it may feel discouraging at first, persistence helps eliminate feelings of loneliness. Exploring new hobbies, like baking or learning another language, can yield the same benefits. Be gentle with yourself when mistakes happen. Everyone stumbles at the beginning. Celebrate each success, whether with a small treat or words of encouragement. One of the greatest advantages of being alone is the freedom from judgment. Essentially, loneliness can naturally arise simply from being by yourself, though in some cases, it may contribute to mental health challenges, such as anxiety or depression. If this feels familiar, remember you are far from alone. Humans are inherently social beings who cannot thrive in isolation. Both mental and physical well-being depend on the presence of family and friends. Stephanie Cassio, neuroscientist and Nike Performance Council member, explains that our brains, with their 86 billion neurons, are wired to connect with others, which helps us grow, process information more quickly, and improve comprehension. Clinical psychologist Sari Chait, founder of the Behavioral Health and Wellness Center in Newton, Massachusetts, further notes that emotional health is deeply influenced by social ties. Research even shows that loved ones can uplift your spirit and provide strength. The stronger your social connections, the better your mental health tends to be. Yet, this does not mean solitude is negative. Time alone can be valuable in its own right. According to Zeit, being content with solitude allows you to concentrate more on what you truly want. It also offers opportunities to revisit neglected hobbies, set new goals, develop coping skills, and strengthen future relationships. Without outside interference, you can prepare more thoroughly and achieve better outcomes. Hopefully, you will embrace your solitude today. Think of your preference for being alone as preparation for interacting with others more comfortably next time, allowing you to be authentic and relaxed around them. Turning 60 is not an ending, but the beginning of a longer life journey. It does not signify the end of everything. Everything begins with a change in mindset. Remind yourself that the world is vast and full of opportunities. To help you approach your later years with confidence, wisdom, and courage, I've outlined some straightforward life principles. Here are 10 guidelines for living well in old age. 8th, nurture romance and hobbies. Seek beauty and affection even in life's difficulties. By continuing to dream, love, and live with passion and hope, you preserve youthfulness regardless of age. Take joy in nature and immerse yourself in hobbies you cherish. This is genuine happiness. 9th, service. Throughout our lives, we have received countless benefits from society. In later years, it is time to give back. Offering first generates positive karma. Though volunteering may not be common, even small acts of kindness, when initiated by you, uplift others and bring you personal fulfillment. This is the quickest path to becoming a responsible citizen. 10th, cultivate an open and humble heart. Free your mind from unnecessary desires. Releasing greed fosters humility, and clarity of mind makes the world appear brighter. Living this way allows your character to shine while bringing peace and health. The heart serves as both a vessel of identity and a window to the universe. Keep it steady, calm, and focused. After years of hard work, it is time to prepare for later life with encouragement, courage, and rewards. Living proudly as a role model for children, relatives, and neighbors. There is no shame in aging, nor reason to feel disheartened. Carry yourself with confidence and dream boldly about the years ahead. Though it may seem like time is abundant, the future is uncertain. Live each day with fullness and health, as if it were your last, and treasure this unique opportunity to experience a graceful, golden old age with gratitude. Stay strong. Aging brings both challenges and wisdom. How do you view it? Comment 1 if you see aging as an opportunity for peace and growth. Comment 2 if you feel uncertain or anxious about what the future holds.